All right, 6:49 now. More and more people are noticing that housing prices are going up, and they may be curious about whether they qualify to make a move.
With us now is our real estate expert, Rick Sadel. Rick, how much income does it take to qualify for an average-priced home in the Portland area right now?
Well, the average price home right now is $282,000, or right around there. We got to remember that, of course, I think we talked about it last week, that number has been skewed recently by higher-end home sales. So people are still getting in for cheaper than that. But let's use 282. You'd have to make right around $50,000 a year to qualify for that.
Okay, gotcha. And so when it comes to credit scores, I think a lot of people don't really pay that much attention to their credit scores. What is the minimum acceptable score there?
Well, 640 would be a number that I would probably use. Now, there are lots of programs that allow for other things, but the lower you get, the more you're going to pay in terms of rate.
Got it. And so so if you're going to buy a house, you should probably have a decent credit score, clearly. 282 is the average price. So in terms of how much you would need to come up with to get into the house, how much would you need?
Well, and that's a loaded question. You can let's just use 3.5% as kind of a good rule of thumb, because that's an FHA loan. So that's what is that? Right around $10,000 or $11,000 to get in for an FHA loan. There are programs out there that allow for zero down still, though.
I'm going to throw you kind of a wild card here, but I think more than a few of us have had this thought lately. With all the talk about possible changes in immigration law, will there be any impact on the housing market if the millions of people who are currently in the country illegally obtain legal status?
That's a great question. I would suppose that we're going to instantaneously have millions of potential future borrowers, so it probably would have some impact down the line. Now, obviously, most banks are going to be looking at a 12-month or more credit history. So, how quickly that would impact us is a good question.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Rick Sadel, thank you.
Thanks.
He is with Keller Williams Realty and PortlandRealEstateAdvisor.com.